of your questions as possible to our presenters. Our main presenter is Clay Lord, Director of Community Arts Development, Director of Communications and Audience Development for the art service organization Theater Bay Area in San Francisco. Clay oversees the marketing, advertising, and audience engagement and research activities for Theater Bay Area, the largest regional theater services organization in the country. In that capacity, he oversees the San Francisco Bay Area's Free Night of Theater, the Bay Area Big List, and the Data Point Research Program. He has also been instrumental in Theater Bay Area's work with Wolf Brown to develop standardized, easy, and accessible online audience survey technology for collecting intrinsic impact and general satisfaction data. Clay will provide an overview of the research that undergirds impact assessment, describe the methods, indicators, and tools developed to carry out this form of evaluation, and discuss the differences between impact assessment and more traditional forms of evaluation performed in the arts. Following the overview, I will moderate a panel discussion between Clay, Michael McDaniel, and Mary Baker about potential uses for and implications of impact assessment. Michael and Mary will provide their points of view as professionals who have supported and assisted arts organizations for many years. Michael McDaniel is the nonprofit and endowment liaison for the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee and represents the Community Foundation in the 43 counties of Middle Tennessee it serves. He assists nonprofit organizations in their philanthropic and charitable goals, as well as assists in their infrastructure and endowment building. Prior to his work at the foundation, he served as the Director of Community Arts Development for the Tennessee Arts Commission. Mary Baker is the President and CEO of Monroe Harding, a Nashville nonprofit organization that provides care, education, and support for children and youth in state custody. Before her tenure as president, Mary ran her own consulting firm and worked extensively with nonprofit organizations through the Center for Nonprofit Management in Nashville, specializing in organizational development, strategic planning, as well as leadership and management development. Mary has a long history of consulting with arts organizations. Before Clay begins, let me start by acknowledging that my professional experience has led me to believe that many arts administrators don't love evaluation. Many have tried to be passionate about surveys and pre-tests and rubrics and statistical analysis, but most evaluation methods just don't provide the same thrill as envisioning, curating, producing, directing, or promoting cultural events. In some cases, I have observed that the evaluation process is planned and performed separately from plans to fulfill the artistic mission, the primary motivation in most arts organizations. I've also been told by a few administrators that their organizations evaluate their programs because it is expected, either required by law or specified by a funder as necessary to receive funding. While external accountability is certainly a valid reason to evaluate, the drive to be accountable can mean that organizations may feel pressure to measure progress towards goals that are defined and conceived externally and are unrelated to the organization's mission. Arts professionals may consequently experience frustration trying to show how their programs achieve instrumental benefits, like making an impressive economic impact on the community, or reducing recidivism, or contributing to the safety of the neighborhood, for example. So what is evaluation supposed to be? For the purpose of this discussion, we'll use a modified version of the American Evaluation Association's definition. Evaluation is the systematic, you need to keep going. Keep going. Okay, next slide, please. Evaluation is the systematic assessment of the strengths and weaknesses of programs, policies, personnel, products, or organizations to determine whether intended goals and objectives are achieved. improve the means used to achieve them, and provide supporting information for setting future goals. Put another way, evaluation is a method of tracking performance according to agreed upon standards in order to show what changed as a result of an organization's efforts. There are different methods that can be used to understand how an organization achieves its goals. What method is chosen depends not only upon the questions that the organization seeks to answer, but also what conditions or indicators will serve as credible evidence that an impact has been made. It has become fairly routine practice in the arts for organizations to use proxy measurements to portray their value and worth to their communities, like box office receipts, head counts, scholarships given, partnerships formed, funds raised, and other measures that capture the industry with which arts organizations undertake their work, but don't necessarily offer insight into why people patronize their institutions. Impact assessment differs from many other evaluation methodologies in that it is designed to measure and unpack benefits thought to be intangible and unique to each individual's experience of the arts. In the RAND Corporation's 2004 monograph, Gifts of the Muse, Reframing the Debate About the Benefits of the Arts, the authors explained that instrumental benefits are indirect outcomes of arts experiences. They are called instrumental because the arts experience is only a means to achieving benefits in non-arts areas. In fact, the arts are only one of a number of ways these benefits can be achieved. Intrinsic benefits, in contrast, are inherent in the arts experience itself and are valued for themselves rather than as a means to something else. Building upon the conceptual framework developed by RAND, impact assessment offers arts organizations a more comprehensive way to understand what's working artistically and represent how meaningful these arts experiences are to participants. So without further ado, I will ask Clay to give you an overview.
Begin the screen.
That's why I'm moving.
Come sit at the table.
I'm going to come over here.
Can I borrow the chair?